Hey everyone. Okay, so this is my first unboxing video, so please bear with me. I've never done this before, so we'll see how this goes. I figure I'm just doing it live. I like things off the cuff, so be prepared for a lot of ums and ahs and stuff like that. So it is December 17th, and I had to wait a little bit to get my Patch Tarot book because I think they were just really overwhelmed with the Christmas season. But the cards came actually pretty quickly. I think there were a couple announcements from Spirit Signs that they had some issues with the actual um, shipping because they got it printed overseas. I'm going to try and keep this preamble a little short, but already it's probably too long. I just wanted to welcome everybody, and first off, to acknowledge that where I live, work, and play is situated on traditional Native territories, including the Wendat, Anishinaabeg, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nations, and the Métis Nation. The territory was subject to the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Iroquois Confederacy and the Confederacy of the Ojibwe and allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. The treaty of where my apartment is actually known as the Toronto Purchase. And I also want to recognize the enduring presence of the Native community in the city. And how awesome my Native friends are. And, I'm really grateful and lucky to have been raised here and to have grown up and to still be able to live here because it's one of the best places in the entire world. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. I guess I'll do the tarot cards first. I'm so excited. I was really excited to even see that Spirit Science had done tarot, a tarot deck in the first place because their videos are really awesome. And one thing I really appreciate about the deck of cards, which are now borderless, which is excellent, is that because it's very cartoony, there's no overabundance of white people in it. Not that I'm disparaging white people, but there are so many tarot decks that are just really not diverse. And even as you can see on the back of the shiny plastic cover box, there's just all different colors of people hanging out and playing and having fun. And I actually have the box for the old edition on the floor in front of me, totally hidden and nowhere to be found. So I guess that's good. So here's the box. And it looks almost the same as the other box. And this is going to drive me crazy. Maybe it's in my lap. Of course it is. Okay, so here's the other box. Let's see what we got going on. It looks like the new deck is actually a little bit smaller. Oh, neat. And they've got a brand new front of the box, and back looks the same writing here. They're hoping that we do awesome things with their tarot and Patch Tarot. As above, so below. That's very Egyptian. I like it. Okay, so this is that, and I am very... Okay, let's see what they say. Warm greetings, blessings, and thank you so much for ordering Patch Tarot. You're very welcome. Thank you for making it. It's been the primary focus of their consciousness for a very long time now, and truly an honor to share it with me. And it looks, unless this is a really good reproduction, it looks like it may have even been hand signed. But, I mean, who's to say? My lighting in here is not the greatest. I'm really sorry for that, guys. It's probably really grainy and awful. But I don't have a lot of equipment. I'm pretty DIY, so I guess I gotta put up with it. Cool, so I'm getting into the box. And Yeah, so I was not sponsored. Nobody bought these for me. I bought them for myself. And holy crap, this looks amazing. Check this out. I got the hardcover because I think it's really worth it. If it's half as good as the online PDF version, it's really worth the extra couple bucks. This looks fantastic. And yeah, the binding looks amazing. Looks like it's done really well. Now this was actually published by a company called it was published by Spirit Science, but then the actual printing people who did the printing was called Lulu. I think they have something to do with Shopify. They're super swamped this time of year, but look into it. My gosh, this looks incredible. Oh, I love the smell of printed pages. I can't even lie. Oh, smells great. Smells educational. Smells very mystic. And there's a little piece of paper in here. Just my shipment summary. Page count 480 pages, so that's amazing. It looks really good. It looks a lot like what the book looks like in PDF form. I had actually contacted Spirit Science because I really wanted to get an EPUB version of the book so that I could take it with me on my e-reader. But unfortunately, the program that I used to convert the PDF to EPUB was like it was really terrible, and uh, like it was ridden with typos. That was totally my fault. So I did end up getting it done. It was really a little difficult to read because I'm a typo nut. Oh, there we go. Here's a picture. Who do we have? That's the Four of Cups. So I don't know if that means anything. That's the first image that came up. Now this tarot deck is actually heavily influenced by Kabbalah, and I'm really interested. I'm really happy to have this book because I'm interested in Kabbalah and learning about it. But it's something that's really hard to learn if you don't have a teacher. I was hoping to find a tutor. Maybe life will still have one for me. We shall see. We'll see what life comes up with. In the meantime, at least I have this book that really gets into Kabbalah and the Kabbalistic connection with tarot. So I'm super excited about it. Oh my gosh, this book weighs so much. I think they said like 4 or 5 pounds or something. I guess it's on the shipping information. I might have blotted it out because I'm paranoid about sharing information on the internet. However, if you've made it this far and you're not totally annoyed with me and you want to support me, you can toss me a couple bucks, or, knowing Bitcoin, way less than a couple bucks. This is my Bitcoin address. So you can take a photo of that and send me some Bitcoins. And I hope the resolution is good enough. And I also have a Litecoin address, and Bitcoin might be the better option because right now Litecoin is the only altcoin that's actually doing any good. So this is my Litecoin address. You can send that to me there. Okay, let's get to the cards. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Wow, this book is so awesome. Just really quickly, I wanted to check the back of the, oh, amazing. They gave us a bunch of charts to make it easier for us to learn. And I have a really tough time learning. Oh, amazing. And this was actually part of the PDF book. This was the the creative process, and the rough sketches of the cards, which I find is really interesting. Being a creative person, I'm always interested in the creative process and the all the work and things that go into making something, making anything really. And on that note, a shout out to oh my gosh, we're a little crushed up on that corner. I mean, I'm just being picky right now because I'm sure the cards inside are fine. It's actually really interesting because the original box for the bordered edition is really high gloss, UV coated. This one looks like it's matte, so it shows up way better on the video. And there's not a whole lot of high gloss shine. Wow, these are gonna be really easy to hold with my tiny hands. All right. Oh wow, the Patch Tarot book. Let's see if I can find the other one kicking around. Actually, of the old deck, I took out the 8s because I wanted to let you guys know that this week coming, I'm going to add another familiar tarot study group video for the 8s and I'm blanking, the 8s and strength. So the familiar videos are generally because I've been reading tarot cards since I was 9 years old and I can't memorize them for the life of me. So I figured that if I taught using the books and the resources that I've collected over the years, that maybe it would be easier for me to remember. So far, not so much. Okay, where did my little book go? I guess it's actually comparing size. It's probably going to be a big book for the Patch Tarot. And now my room is a mess, so good luck finding anything at this point. Sorry I wasn't more organized. Here's my scissors. Okay, well, oh, there it is. Okay, so as far as the books go, the one is a little bit smaller. It's bound much nicer. This one is just staples. No, this is actually, looks like it's sewn. Check that out in the middle. So that is bound by a big sewing machine. So that's kind of awesome. This one is actually bound, I don't know, by glue and cardboard binding. So that's pretty awesome. And wow, it looks like it's much easier to read as well. Yeah, the printing on this book is just the letters and everything is much easier to read. It's much clearer. As you can see on my grainy video, the lettering is just a little bit easier. This lettering is damn near microscopic. It is really difficult to read. And this one is just, it's bigger lettering. It looks really nice. It smells really nice. It smells like ink. I can't lie, I love that. And there's actually a little spread inside. I think the other one has it as well. Really, really nicely done. Really nicely done. And the cards. All right, so wow. Oh, wow, they feel awesome. They are not sticky. They are really slippery. These are really nice. Really, really beautiful feel. Really nice in the hand. The size is great. They're just like a playing card, actually. So this says, welcome to the first edition of Patch Tarot. So that's weird. Here we go. And I'm just going to hold this up for a second because I didn't want to read the whole thing. I didn't want to read the whole thing because it says, this deck is a sacred tool for awakening the consciousness, finding deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe, which, like, I'm about. Um, I You are now invited to join us in a prayer for the planet. And I saw that and decided to pause because and bring you into this because I mean, can we just be honest? The planet really needs it. We set our intention for the engagement of the collective mind, the healing of the collective heart, and the connection of the collective soul. Now remove this card from your deck and cast it into a fire. Wow. Okay. Sorry, guys. I can't do that right now. I'm inside. Um, by setting this singular card ablaze, we open ourselves to receiving divine guidance and inspiration to serve the planet with the infinite love and light within each of our hearts. So mote it be. That's very sweet and very pagan. I like it. Um, I don't want to burn it. I want it to be a part of my deck. It's actually got a different back than the rest of the cards. It's got the flower of life on it, which is a very spirit science type of symbolism. They really enjoy their flower of life. Um, and then it's got the four suits on it: wands and swords, pentacles, and cups, or they call it discs in this deck. So one thing I was really interested to see was that they changed they changed the number and the name of the fool to the child. And now that I'm looking at it, it's a little weird because um, that shifts the entire major arcana. Um, I had heard somebody say something about that online. So the fool is now the child, um, which I think is a really good, excellent change. Because I never really liked the idea of the fool because the fool always seemed, that the word just, you know, it's a diss. Like, let's be real. And I get that, um, in medieval times, which, tarot cards are generally based on, that the fool was the one person in the king's court who could actually make fun of the king and could actually be witty. He was the only person that was allowed to be witty in a king's court. And I get that, but I just don't think that starting off on a journey makes you a fool. So I really like the idea that it's called the child. I can't say I'm a huge fan of making it both one and zero because the concept of the zero is that this is the thought before action. And number one, as in numerology, is action. So I don't know about changing all the numbers around. Some of the other concepts I think are really cool. Um, just first off, can take a look at the two cards side by side. Now, one thing that Spirit Science did that I thought was really interesting is that this deck with the borders was printed with, I think they said 300 DPI. And the new deck, this guy, is printed with a 1200 DPI printer. So there's much more richness and color and depth of art that's possible. So the bird on this side is like glowing, and this little bird is just kind of chilling and being peaceful. So I think that's really interesting as well. And also the butterfly is very different as well. We got a rainbow on one, and this guy is a cute little cartoon. So that's pretty rad. Um, One major change that I thought was really interesting and they talked about on their video was the magician card. What I think is really interesting is that they turned the magician into the wizard. And that makes a lot of sense because magicians are tricksters. They really aren't much of anything special. They can wow you and they can fool you, but they don't really make anything on this plane. And this is really interesting because they've made our magician into a wizard and given him a Harry Potter scarf, which is super cute. And they've got all of the same, very similar imagery, but again, the DPI um, becomes obvious what the limitations of 300 versus 1200 DPI is for their printing. Um, yeah, even the flame looks gorgeous. Um, so that's another difference. Um, I'm not sure if I'm going to go through all of the cards just yet. Um, I think I really have to check out the book and for the numbering, because part of what I do is numerology, and the cards are all connected numerologically. So shifting the entire major arcana numerologically, um, I really have to look into it. Like I'm skeptical about it because the and I've often said in the tarot, the familiar tarot group lessons, is that I really do believe in the um, infinite interconnectivity of all things. So the numerology of the deck is on purpose. And one thing I really find interesting is that when you look, even if you keep the numerology constant, that a lot of different disciplines still fit into the framework. So shifting all of the major arcana seems a little weird. And as far as how well thought out it is, again, I'll probably have to come back to the Book of Patch and really read and see what they're getting at. Here is the High Priestess. Um, and she's still between the pillars of Boaz and ja- Jaquin. I always think of Joaquin Phoenix for that one. You can really see the colors are much brighter and fuller. These are really pretty cards. I'm really happy with them. Um, they've done a really great job. Um, they do look fantastic. I think I want to skip a few ahead. And one thing that the spirit science did, which was interesting with their last deck, was that they they included a few extra cards in the major arcana to bring the individual, which is the fool's quest, or I guess the child's quest, to bring the individual for full circle um, into blending of the harmony with the universe. So they call them the God cards. So I wanted to take a look at the God cards and see how they're different from the last deck. Um, so the last deck ended on 21, which was the crown, which is the world in traditional decks. So let's break this down, shall we? So the crown. Oh wow. Is that a dragon? That looks like it is. Oh, beautiful. They didn't have a dragon on the crown in the older deck. That's really gorgeous. Really beautiful. Great symbology. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm just holding this guy upside down. My bad. Whoops. Yeah, that looks oh, I love it. I just never even noticed it before. It's much richer in the new version. Really beautiful. So the crown, that's the world, and this is the that's the card where you so far as I know, it's I haven't got there in my studies yet, but so far as I know, it's pretty much the wish card. So if you get if you get the crown in a reading or the world, that's your wish card. So good things happen that way. Good things happen when you see that card. Um, and then the light. Oh, I had mine. I tried to put mine together beforehand and put them in order. So I I just figured it was the way, the truth, the light, and the all because that is um, uh, they in the Bible they refer to Jesus as the way, the truth, and the light. So I just assumed that that's the way the cards were organized. Evidently not. So this one is the light. Very very pretty. Oh man, it looks really good. And then the way. Nope, here we go. The truth comes next. Here we go. Oh wow, look at all the stars. Gorgeous. Oh, I'm so excited to read about these. Yeah, the stars just pop on the new deck. Really pretty. And see the way. And then the all. Blending with the universe. Amazing. All right, so this video has gone on for 27 minutes, and I'm sure you've had enough of me. If you wanted me to go through card by card, I could look at getting better lighting and a better camera for you. In the meantime, I'm just working with what I got, which is the name of the game in and around familiar. But in any case, thank you for tuning in for the unboxing. The Oh my gosh, this is so heavy. The Book of Patch and Patch Tarot, the Borderless Edition. Thank you so much. Keep in touch on Facebook and YouTube. Share, like, subscribe. I think that's what you're supposed to stay on these channels. And thanks a lot for joining me. Bye bye. Oh, thank you, Wazzy Magic.